Ramen, udon, soba, somen, yakisoba. Japan has a noodle for almost every mood and season. To most people outside Japan, they all blur together. Just different bowls of Japanese noodles. But they are not variations of one thing. They are genuinely different foods, made from different ingredients, served in completely different ways. Once you learn to tell them apart, a whole world of Japanese food opens up. And one of them is not even what its name suggests. By the end of this video, you will be able to read any Japanese noodle in seconds. This is your map. There is one simple question that sorts almost all of them, so let's decode it. Here is that question: what is the noodle made of, and how is it served? Almost every Japanese noodle is defined by two things: the flour it comes from, and whether it is served hot, cold, in broth, or fried. Keep those two ideas in mind. They are the key to the entire map. It sounds almost too simple. But those two questions untangle a menu that looks impossibly crowded. So let's walk through them, one by one, starting with the thickest. And quickly, before we go deeper, thank you for actually watching this, instead of just scrolling past it. Stick around, because number 5 is the noodle almost everyone gets completely wrong. First up, udon. Udon are thick, soft, chewy noodles made from wheat flour. They are probably the easiest Japanese noodle to love. Big, soft, and instantly comforting. They are the noodle a Japanese parent might make for a child on a cold day. Pure, uncomplicated comfort. They are the heavyweights of the noodle world, plump and satisfying. Made from just flour, water, and salt, with no eggs at all. That simplicity is deceptive. With so few ingredients, there is nowhere for a mistake to hide. Their whole magic is in the texture, a springy, bouncy chew that is hard to get right. Great udon almost bounces back against your teeth. The very best udon is even kneaded with the feet to build that chew. It is far harder to master than it looks. They are usually served in a light, clear broth, where the noodle itself is the star. Simple, warming, and deeply comforting. They can also be served cold, or in a thick curry, or fried. But the classic bowl keeps things quiet and pure. That gentleness is the whole point of udon. It is a noodle that reassures rather than excites. Next, the famous one. Ramen. Ramen noodles are also made from wheat, but with one crucial extra ingredient. An alkaline mineral water called kansui. That kansui is what makes ramen noodles yellow, springy, and distinctly slippery. It changes the color, the bite, and even the smell. It is the reason a ramen noodle feels nothing like an udon noodle, even though both are wheat. Wheat plus kansui is a completely different noodle. And ramen is all about the bowl it lives in. A rich broth, a concentrated seasoning called tare, and toppings, all built around those springy noodles. If udon is calm and gentle, ramen is bold and complex. Where udon soothes, ramen excites. There are countless regional styles, from rich pork bone broth to clear soy. But the springy kansui noodle ties them all together. It is easily the most famous Japanese noodle in the world. Yet it is really just one branch of a much bigger family. Now for something completely different. Soba. Soba are thin noodles made not from wheat, but from buckwheat. And buckwheat is not actually a wheat at all. That gives soba an earthy, nutty flavor that the wheat noodles simply do not have. It also makes them a little more delicate. Because buckwheat has no gluten of its own, soba is trickier to hold together. The best soba is a real test of a noodle maker's skill. Soba can be served hot in broth, or cold on a bamboo tray with a dipping sauce on the side. Eating cold soba in summer is a centuries-old tradition. In Japan, slurping them loudly is not rude at all. It cools the noodle and lifts the nutty aroma with every bite. Soba also carries real cultural weight. People eat it at New Year, as a symbol of a long and unbroken life. So already, 3 noodles that look similar are worlds apart. Thick wheat udon, springy kansui ramen, and earthy buckwheat soba. 3 noodles, 3 different ideas of what a noodle should even be. And we are only halfway through. Quick note before the second half. I have full, separate breakdowns of ramen, udon, and soba, each has its own deep dive. You will find them at the end of this video and linked in the description. So if one grabs you, you can head straight there. Now to a lighter, more delicate noodle. Somen. Somen are extremely thin white wheat noodles, almost like fine threads. They are stretched with a little oil and dried, which makes them delicate and quick to cook. They cook in barely a minute, and turn soft almost instantly. Overcook them, and those fine threads simply dissolve. And somen are almost always eaten cold. In summer, they are served over ice with a light dipping sauce. There is even a playful version where the noodles flow down a bamboo channel of cold water, and you catch them with your chopsticks. It is as much a game as a meal. Somen is the taste of a Japanese summer. Light, cool, and refreshing when the heat is unbearable. It is proof that a noodle does not have to be hot and hearty. Sometimes the best bowl is barely a bowl at all. Now for number 5, the one that fools almost everybody. Yakisoba. The name literally contains the word soba, so people assume it is a buckwheat noodle. It is not. Yakisoba is made from wheat noodles, very similar to ramen noodles. The soba in the name is misleading. Yaki means fried, so yakisoba simply means fried noodles. It is a stir-fry, not a soup. The noodles are fried on a hot plate with cabbage, meat, and a sweet, savory sauce. You will find it sizzling at every Japanese festival. Piled into a soft bun, it even becomes a popular sandwich. It is comfort food, street food, and party food all at once. Its sweet, tangy sauce is a close cousin of okonomiyaki sauce. Once you spot that flavor, you find it all over Japanese street food. So despite its name, yakisoba has almost nothing to do with soba. That little trap in the name is a perfect example of why decoding food matters. A single word can send you in completely the wrong direction. Now you will never be fooled by it again. And there are a few more on the edges of the map. Shirataki are translucent, chewy noodles made from a plant root, with almost no calories. There is also ramen's cousin, the instant noodle, which changed how the whole world eats. Each one bends the same basic ideas in a new direction. But here's what most people miss. The real map of Japanese noodles is not about their shape at all. It is about those 2 questions from the start. What is the noodle made of, and how is it served? Wheat gives you udon, ramen, somen, and yakisoba. Buckwheat gives you soba, and a plant root gives you shirataki. Notice how much the wheat family alone can do. The same basic flour becomes thick udon, springy ramen, and fine somen. Then the serving style splits them again. Hot broth, cold dip, or fried on a plate. The very same noodle can even change character completely depending on how it is served. Hot udon and cold udon almost feel like 2 different foods. Once you hold those 2 ideas together, every Japanese noodle finds its place. The confusion simply disappears. That is the real lesson. These are not random dishes, but a clear family, organized by ingredient and by how they are eaten. It is the same quiet order that runs through all of Japanese cooking. Behind the variety, there is always a system. That is really what we do in every one of these videos. We find the simple logic hiding under the surface. And each one is worth its own deep dive, because the details are where the magic lives. the consui in ramen, the buckwheat in soba, the chew of udon. So here is your takeaway. Japanese noodles are not all the same. They are sorted by what they are made of, and how they are served. Learn those 2 questions, and you can read any noodle in Japan. No menu will ever look confusing again. Now I would genuinely love to know, which Japanese noodle is your absolute favorite? Tell me in the comments below. And here is the one moment I will actually ask. If this finally sorted these noodles out for you, leave a like, it really helps the channel grow. And subscribe if you want more of Japanese food decoded, one dish at a time. To go deeper right now, the video on the left breaks down ramen, the most complex bowl of them all. And on the right, you can decode miso, the flavor base behind so many of these dishes. See you in the next one.